Much for joining us tonight. An East Texas man who wrongly spent 20 years on death row has been declared innocent of rape and murder. Kerry Max Cook was convicted for the 1977 rape and murder of Linda Jo Edwards. But an opinion out today from the state's highest criminal court formally declares his innocence, citing stunning allegations of misconduct by the Smith County DA's office at the time of the original trial in 1978. In a 106-page opinion, the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals Justice J. Richardson writes in part, Cook's prosecution was marked by bookends of deception spanning over 40 years. This case has traversed a winding odyssey through our justice system stretching back to 1977. It begins where the state failed to disclose and was not truthful to the defense, to the court, and to the jury. Kerry Max Cook had been convicted of the 1977 rape and murder of Linda Jo Edwards at her Tyler apartment, a 1978 conviction that was overturned. A second trial in 1992 resulted in a mistrial. A third trial in 1994 resulted in a new conviction and death sentence. However, the Court of Criminal Appeals in 1996 reversed that verdict, citing police and prosecutor misconduct from the very beginning. Cook was released from death row in 1997, saying at the time,
"It's an out-of-body experience."
In 1999, the Smith County DA's office intended to carry out a fourth trial, but offered a plea deal for time already served. But the conviction still stood. Smith County prosecutors set aside that conviction in 2016. But the ruling today by the state's highest criminal court is what formally exonerates him. Since his release, 68-year-old Cook has advocated against the death penalty. The Court of Criminal Appeals opinion states prosecutors illegally withheld favorable evidence in the 1978 trial, and much of the evidence they presented turned out to be false. The court writing, the victim, Linda Jo Edwards, deserves justice for her murder and for the unspeakable way it was committed. It is alarming that for more than 4 decades, some of those charged with pursuing that justice for Linda have actually obstructed the search for the truth of what really happened that night. During the past 40 years, not only have memories faded because of the passage of time, witnesses have died, and evidence in the care of the state has been inexplicably destroyed. Linda Jo Edwards deserves better. Now, we did reach out to the Smith County District Attorney's Office for reaction, but have yet to hear back. Mind you, it is a federal holiday.